This curious implement holds a captivating secret until you turn the crank. As its paddle-like arms whirl to life, mesmerizing patterns reveal themselves within the glass enclosure. What magic lies inside? Its surface is speckled with age, and you can almost feel the fingerprints of every person who ever used it. Do you know what this was for? Most people have no idea. This forgotten gadget played a key role in every early 20th century pantry, ensuring that families enjoyed fresh butter without the risk of spoilage. We call it the daisy churn. This remarkable hand-cranked glass jar butter churn was sold to American homemakers in the early 1900s, promising them the luxury of freshly churned butter with minimal effort. Imagine a warm summer morning, the sun streaming in through a modest kitchen window, where a homemaker stands with a pail of fresh cream, gathered that morning from her cow. With a few turns of the handle on the daisy churn, families would savor the rich flavor of fresh butter, ready to dollop onto warm biscuits or enjoy with homemade bread. The design of the daisy churn reveals its cleverness. Internally, the device features paddle dashers that work in harmony with the churn's clear body, allowing the user to watch the transformation happen. In just a short time, with the rhythmic cranking, the cream would break down and begin to separate, forming butter that could then be salted and stored. The clear glass not only added the allure of seeing the magic unfold, but also allowed for easy cleaning, a crucial factor for any kitchen tool during that time. But as convenient as it was, the daisy churn eventually found itself fading into obscurity. With the advent of electric appliances in the 1920s and 30s, this charming hand-cranked device was shelved, along with the memories of those yellow-green summer days spent churning cream into luxurious butter. Just like the powerful nostalgia evoked by the daisy churn, there exists another tool that carries a similar sentimental weight. This is the butter spade. At first glance, it might look like any old wooden spatula, but notice the slight angling of the blade and the delicate craftsmanship. These butter spades were not just tools for spreading. They were lovingly crafted, often made from finely grained hardwood. Picture an immense farmhouse kitchen where a group of children eagerly awaited breakfast. As the mother gently slices through a fresh loaf of bread, she reaches for her beloved butter spade. With a gentle motion, she scoops up a perfect amount of butter and spreads it delicately across the freshly baked surface. The unique angle of the spade's blade allowed for a smooth, efficient application, minimizing waste and maximizing the pleasure of every bite. As households began to purchase butter in convenient store packages, the handmade butter spade dwindled in popularity. As everything about food shifted from homemade to store-bought, so too did the desire for artisanal tools. Today, we find ourselves reaching for plastic spreaders without a second thought to the hands that once crafted each butter spade with intention and care. Our journey through the forgotten world of tools continues with a humble yet meaningful implement, the coffee mill. Dressed in polished wood and adorned with gleaming metal gears, this device embodies the craftsmanship of its era. Standing proud on a kitchen counter, it was a staple for many American households. Can you hear the faint sound of the grinding wheel? Visualize a weary farmer returning home from the fields, ready to savor a fresh cup of coffee. He fills the chamber with gleaming coffee beans and begins to turn the handle. With every revolution, the comforting scent of ground coffee envelopes the room. Each morning ritual revolved around this sturdy mill, creating a tactile connection to the beans that would brew into steaming cups of comfort. Yet, with the invention of pre-ground coffee and convenient instant options in the latter half of the 20th century, the once indispensable coffee mill faded into a relic of the past. While modern conveniences have their perks, they lack the intimacy and warmth of a hand grinder, and many coffee lovers today are rediscovering the tactile satisfaction of grinding beans themselves, seeking out old mills to bring back that sense of ritual. But craftsmanship was not limited to kitchens alone. In the realm of woodworking, we find another forgotten tool, the spoke shave. This essential implement is shaped like a small plane, with a handle on either side and a sharp blade between them. It was a craftsman's delight, able to shape wood into the perfect curves needed for chair legs or wagon wheels. Imagine a master cooper, hunched over his workbench, meticulously carving the wooden staves that would form the perfect barrel. With each pass of the spoke shave, shavings curled away like delicate ribbons, revealing the smooth finish beneath. This tool allowed woodworkers to achieve precision like no other, transforming rough logs into works of functional art. Yet, as industrial methods took over in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the spoke shave began to vanish. Mass production and machine-made furniture and barrels replaced the need for such detailed handwork. Today, we find few spoke shaves remaining, along with the talented hands that once wielded them, silently echoing a time when craftsmanship was integral to American life. Speaking of craftsmanship, let us pause here for a moment. Did your grandfather have one of these in his shed? Perhaps it was a long-forgotten treasure buried beneath layers of dust and a myriad of other old tools. Share your memories with us below. We love hearing your stories of the past. Continuing our tale, we find ourselves at the door of the blacksmith's workshop, where forged iron meets practical design. Here lies the nutcracker, a seemingly simple tool, yet pivotal in kitchens across America. Farm families would gather around during the harvest season, cracking nuts for pies and pastries. This particular nutcracker boasts a beautifully designed lever with intricate patterns etched onto its surface, showcasing the blacksmith's skills. Using it requires the perfect amount of pressure. Too light, and the nut remains intact. Too hard, and it shatters into countless pieces. Picture the aroma of freshly baked pie filling the air, composed of cracked walnuts or pecans that once lay whole, waiting patiently for their moment. It was a family affair, each member taking turns to crack open the seasonal bounty. However, as time went on and food processing industries flourished, the simple art of cracking nuts with a handcrafted tool diminished. Today, many of us rely on pre-packaged crushed nuts, losing touch with that rhythmic ritual born from generations past. Now, we land in the realm of the sewing room, where another charming relic awaits, the thimble. At first glance, it may appear to be nothing more than a small metal cap, yet its purpose has been vital in protecting seamstresses' fingers from the needle's bite. Imagine the scene, a dimly lit room adorned with colorful rolls of fabric. A seamstress deftly uses her needle, stitching the garments that would one day clothe her loved ones. Her trusty thimble, worn and comfortable, provided assurance as she pushed the needle through thick cloth, guiding it without fear of pricking her fingers. Once, no quilter or maker would dare be without their thimble, each unique in design, material, and even the family stories they carried. But as sewing machines became prevalent, the need for manual stitching diminished along with the thimble, often seen as a relic of necessity rather than an emblem of craft. The dance of time carries us to our next tool, where we find the slicer or potato masher. Its design simple yet effective. It features a handle attached to a metal head with a series of holes, ideal for mashing potatoes into creamy goodness. Picture the harvest, a family sitting around the table, their shared laughter echoing in the kitchen as they gather for Sunday dinner. This masher was their trusted companion, turning humble potatoes into a beloved side dish. The simple act of mashing required little effort, and families learned to appreciate homemade meals at a time when preserving food was crucial. Much like our other tools, the potato masher witnessed the rise of modern conveniences, including blending and food processing devices that replaced the need for hand tools. Nothing can quite replicate the texture and flavor of mashed potatoes prepared by hand. But as convenience overtook tradition, this nostalgic piece found itself collecting dust on kitchen shelves. As we draw to the close of our story, we are reminded of the myriad of hands that once crafted these tools, transforming raw materials into practical implements of daily life. The heart and soul of craftsmanship are woven into every one of these forgotten tools, offering a gentle reminder of the power of human ingenuity over mere convenience. Like this if it took you back, and subscribe for the next forgotten tool. The workshop never really closes.